Hello, hello, hello. Let's. Someone is bashing upstairs. Now I'm going to go join the guests. So, put your hands together for. Da-dun. And we're live. Hello.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no.
All your dirty secrets are now live on stream. And whose dirty secrets do we have today? We have, as always, the wonderful ShadowLink.
I just woke up.
He's not used to compliments so early in the morning. But special guests also with us today. We have the always terrifying PushDustIn.
Oh, hello. I guess I'm scary now.
Yeah, it's Halloween themed.
I see that you still have the Source Gaming icon for me. I don't have the full guest icon.
No, you're in that weird, 50-50 space of staff member, not staff member.
To come back from the store with the milk.
Yeah. The divorce papers haven't been fully signed yet, so...
You're the Gino of the team.
How's your mother? She's doing all right?
I'm doing fine,
she look
Push.
happy with Mike.
And also joining us, as you just heard a moment ago, we have Riley Little, the person behind the fantastic Walmart Canada account on Twitter.
That's so kind of you. Thank you.
It's always
a pleasure to be here.
It's like the one brand account that's like continuously posting the stuff I like and feels sincere about it.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
And also joining us is a great artist and an ex-team member as well. We've got HeroTechne.
Yo. What's up?
So, I brought everyone here together because we are reaching a sad period of Smash speculation as it's all coming to an end. But it's also a good thing because I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest, at this point. It's been happening for 4 years now? No, 3 years now. I can't do time. But it's also a bit of a momentous occasion, as obviously we're at the final fighter that's going to be joining in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sakurai will get to go on his break. We won't have to deal with all of these leaks and rumors for hopefully at least another 4 years before people start rumoring about the next Smash game. And then we'll enter the cycle all over again.
I remember with Smash for Wii U, it was pretty much the week after, because they had that update that fixed Bayonetta, that changed the drive of the game from the DLC to the active development one.
Oh right.
That. And so we were oh yeah, a new Smash is coming. Pretty early on. We did not get to rest, and it was just immediately Smash speculation. Is Sakurai going to return?
Yeah.
As the director for a year.
The worst thing is I'm seeing people speculate. Yeah, but it says the final presentation by Sakurai, so they're gonna have someone else take over Ultimate, and then they're gonna do presentations again. It's don't think so, bud.
Guys, let it go.
Yeah.
No, Smash Ultimate has to end.
Yo, Kensei Fujinaga, the director of The Quiet Man? Oh man, he's taking over Smash!
It's it. So, we are, this is obviously we got 2 days, basically, until the final Smash character is revealed. So, it's about time to give our sort of final expectations on what we think we'll see. We're going to go through an order of what we expect to see, and then what we want to see, and then sharing some, extra details at the end around fan polls, and maybe if there's any other content other than characters we think we'll see, not including Mii costumes, although if we have time we can talk about that as well, because that's always a good laugh. But for now, let's start with what we want to see. Sorry. What we expect to see. I just said the agenda and I've already got it wrong. Why don't I let one of the guests start? So, Push, why don't you share with us who you expect to see on Tuesday?
Who I expect to see?
Yes.
Not who I want.
No, not who you want. Just this is who you think is likely. Although, of course, if they are also who you want, then, you can say both.
It's kind of hard because I feel Fighter Pass 2 has been so unexpected in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like they've been doing big brain moves with with certain fighter custom reveals and certain packs, so that way it seems like characters like Kazuya wouldn't be likely and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just don't know who to expect anymore. If you had asked me earlier today, I would have definitely said SMT5, the Shin Megami Tensei avatar or character, or that character getting in as the final character, because I feel like it checks so many boxes.
Yeah, sorry. Like, what was his name, Matt?
Nahobino.
There you go.
Yeah. So I feel like they check so many boxes because it's like upcoming game. It's from a legendary series. It's it's from Sega, which had content in the first Fighter Pass. A lot of the Fighter Pass 2 has been repeat companies. So it's like, okay, it could make sense. But now that like they had like those couple tweets from the Smash account and Sakurai's account this morning, your evening. I don't know if you guys seen them.
Yeah.
Or Sakurai kind of like hyping up again, like the celebration of gaming and like the worlds colliding and stuff like that. And he's used that term in general to talk about DLC, and he used it in particular when he right before Steve got announced. So I'm just like, it's probably going to be a third-party character. It's probably going to be a series that isn't in Smash. So I feel like we have a bet going on that. Like I said that Resident Evil is something that I would like to see. I feel it has a shot, but now I don't feel so comfortable with the Resident Evil character. My mind is going all over the place. I don't know anymore.
I did see those tweets. I did see those tweets. I feel like I want to take it as he's just hyping up the character, especially because this is a standalone presentation. And obviously this is also the last one. They've been doing a massive Twitter campaign at the moment, going through the key moments of Smash, starting with its very first reveal trailer and it's talking about Joker being revealed and all that.
They have to have that song like, as we go on, we remember.
Yo, Push, you didn't tell me you took choir. What the fuck? That was so good.
So there. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Pro Tag, I think is one that quite a few people have brought up, just because you're right, it does fit that like perfect spot of being a marketable character while also like being from a legacy series, kind of like how the Dragon Quest XI protagonist was. Being that game was like about to come out 3 or 4 months after on the Switch after it was revealed in Smash, and well, this will be like a month later. So it does fit timing wise.
And I feel like they do new upcoming characters for the last spot because it helps keep the roster fresh. It helps keep the roster new. Because like by the time everything is done, like if you look at it, all the characters, they're like from games that are like 4 or 5 years ago already.
Yeah.
Like there's not a new character. Was Fire Emblem Three Houses is the newest character, like Violet, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, and that game came out 3 years ago already? 2 years ago?
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, so like they might want to add a character from an upcoming game or a character that is just coming out, just so that the roster still feels fresh. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Matt, why don't you go next then on the character you expect, considering which I wasn't sure if Shin Megami Tensei was going to be your choice or not for this.
Expect? Expecting something I want? What are you talking about?
And who is the character you expect to see?
I don't know. Look, I always have the sinking feeling that it's going to be a timeline where I lose. And I've had a constant banter on the Source Gaming Discord with a specific user about Master Chief never being in Smash. And I have a sinking feeling that it's happening.
You think it could be the Chief?
I think Chief is looking likely, but that might also just be me being very pessimistic because I think I will never get anything I want.
Oh no. Well, funnily enough, Chief is a character I'm actually also expecting to see on Tuesday. I feel like a lot of people think that Smash's final character never really ends in like a big bang. And like I can see why people think that with like Incineroar, right, as like the final one. But
yeah, just because it's happened twice before doesn't mean that it's going to happen a third time.
well, I mean, so this is the thing, right? It happened with Byleth with Fight Pass 1, but Byleth was also not meant to be the end of DLC. It was the end of just Fighter Pass 1. They'd already announced Fighter Pass 2. And I feel like if we look at any other Smash character, the final character they reveal, it's either like a super secret character like Duck Hunt in Smash for Wii U, or in Smash 4 DLC, the final character was Bayonetta. And regardless of what people think about that, the whole point of Bayonetta being added in that game was that she was meant to be the one that all the fans voted on. Like, she was meant to be like the most requested character for DLC. So I feel like Nintendo...
Jury's still out on that one.
Well, yeah, sure. But I feel like Nintendo, placing that at the end, it was meant to be a big bang to finish off on. This was the winner of the vote. So I feel like...
That was like a response to the Smash ballot, though. Like, that was just like, they had to do that.
Well, yeah. But that's what I mean. That the Smash ballot was meant... I think it's fair to assume that the character who wins the Smash ballot is meant to be the character that most people are excited about and the one they'd most likely want to see in the game. So I feel like from Nintendo's perspective, that is a big final reveal regardless of who it is. So I don't get the impression that like Nintendo's just going to end on a whimper. Like I feel like so many people have been saying they will for this one.
Yeah,
The last character for
I think
Brawl was Olimar.
Was he?
He was
That's kind of a cool pick.
He was the last starter character revealed, yeah.
Yeah.
My read on the situation is that I think Nintendo has really stepped up their marketing game this time around, and they've been very methodical in the way that they've released characters. So, like, yeah, Byleth finished the first Fighters Pass, but Byleth got announced in, like, January, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or February? Yeah, so, like, that's a low sales period. So you had like 3 characters driving holiday sales with Hero, Banjo getting a dual release, and then Terry. And then next year, like, we got Steve into Sephiroth. Now we have Kazuya at E3 into, someone who's dropping around the same time that Minecraft Steve dropped, which is, I think, undebatably, like, just like based on the sheer player base of Minecraft, the biggest character they've added to the game so far.
Yeah, agreed.
So I think we're in a position to end strong, and I think that it benefits Nintendo to have mapped it out this way.
But so I guess then, Riley, who is the character that you expect to see? Because I know Push mentioned that. Push mentioned the little bet that we've all got going. And if I remember right, the character you put down for that was Master Chief.
I did put Master Chief. I mean, that's a bit of wishful thinking too. Like, I think that there's a lot of really, really strong. I think there's a very strong partnership between Microsoft and Nintendo right now. I mean, I think the fact that they've added Banjo is sign enough that they're collaborating on things far larger than that, including adding in like Banjo-Kazooie to Nintendo Switch Online, which is on paper you would think that might hurt the appeal of Game Pass. And if they're willing to do that, then I think that the door's wide open to much further collaboration. So I think Master Chief has a very strong shot. But I feel like if they're gonna end on a bang, like, it could be Master Chief, it could be Sora. Like, I think all of those are possibilities. So I feel like dream big, because this is it, guys. Like, this is it.
Shooting high.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like, and to Push's point, like, before this, I was like, it's gonna be like a Pokemon, or it'll be the Shin Megami Tensei 5 protagonist. Like, and like that to me would have made sense as something like worth promoting. But I just, based on some of the language used and stuff like that, like, I really feel like they've set this up as the main drive leading into holiday. So I feel like it will be a character that people want.
Right. And Hero, what about you then, as the final one?
I don't even know where to start. I want to touch upon Master Chief for a little bit. I love the Chief. I love Halo. Love the original trilogy.
Is there a butt coming? Yeah,
there's the butt.
There's always a butt coming up.
A little bit of a butt. The main thing is I feel like the last character is going to be favored towards both Western and Eastern. I feel like Chief would mainly only be a Western pick. Again, I love the Chief. I love him. I love him so much. But it feels weird for Smash to end on a character that only favors like the West at the end of the day.
How popular is Halo in Japan? I mean, I know Xbox isn't exactly massively popular.
So, despite Xbox being kind of small, Halo is bigger than Doom there.
Yeah.
Game Pass is also incredibly successful in Japan, based on some of Microsoft's latest reports.
It's got like a very dedicated following, Halo does, to the point where I think I want to say they changed his Japanese voice actor at one point, and there was a huge uproar about that.
So this is the thing with
Sakurai has written about Halo a couple times in Famitsu.
Yeah. Sakurai would definitely be familiar with it, and I feel like with Halo Infinite coming out, he could also potentially hit that same marketing sweet spot that Shin Megami Tensei 5 Pro Tag could hit.
The main thing is, while I see all of that, I think there are other third-party characters that would be a stronger relation between both like sides of the world. So the main thing is, I think in our bet we originally banned Frisk because I think a good chunk of us were like, Frisk is pretty likely. But thinking, I think I mentioned this argument in the past, is I don't think Sakurai would want to move Megalovania out of miscellaneous into its own category. Because Sakurai usually loves to keep things set in stone, and if he changes his set in stone, things feel a little weird.
You made a very good point in saying that too, because I was like, well, why wouldn't he? And then you're like, because then you can't play Megalovania on all of the stages.
Yeah, which
or which one? Was it all the stages, or all
the miss stages.
So like, you wouldn't get on Megalovania, you wouldn't get like NintenDogs anymore, you wouldn't get on Balloon Fight, and I feel like
right. Like they're not going to take away a feature.
Instead, they should add this. They should add the ability to play songs on any stage, like they did with Battlefield. Final Destination.
Imagine going to the Mishima final. Imagine going to the Mishima Dojo with environmental noises. Fuck yeah. But after that, I always kept on mentioning the SMT5 Pro Tag as well, because Atlas doesn't have their own mascot represented right now. They have like Joker, but they don't have Jack Frost. Jack Frost is like their big pull. Yeah. But I think, and Nintendo's admittedly been pushing SMT5 a lot over, like, I think National Dog Day. They could have done Isabel. They could have easily represented Isabel, but they used the demon dog. I forgot the exact demon's name, but they could have just easily yeah, what you said. But they didn't use Isabel. They used something from SMT5 instead. So I think Nintendo's pushing advertising for it a lot. I'm pretty sure all of you have seen the whole date leak. It makes me think about Sora a little bit. I don't think Disney's as bad as they used to be anymore. I could discuss this for a full 30 minutes if we wanted to. But I don't know. I made a tweet a few days ago showing 4 characters. I was like, if it's not one of these, I'm betting my life on it. and then my second reply was I'm gonna be quote retweeted to hell. So honestly, even if any of us say any characters, there's a good chance it could be none of them.
Yeah, no, that's certainly true. I was thinking about this earlier today, but Terry was this sort of out there pick that no one was speculating about, but made sense as bringing in an entire company, and this is kind of like a legacy character.
Nanten.
Yeah.
Nanten, you say that, but we both have a mutual friend who said Terry Bogard at the beginning of the past.
I mean, yes.
I still don't know how they did that.
Yes. Well, we also have a mutual friend that really wants the character I was about to bring up as well, which is Bob from Puzzle Bobble. Because as I started thinking about it, but Bubble Bobble is quite a sort of a biggish franchise, but also not a massive one. But it's still getting new games. I think either Puzzle Bobble 4 or Bubble Bobble 4 just came out. But that would also represent all of Taito basically. You could bring in all of Taito, which is another sort of one of those big games companies, especially back in the day, just like SNK. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, Taito are Space Invaders, right? They're the company who made that. So it's like they have this big video game history, and they're not represented in Smash like at all. Like I can't think of anything from Taito that's currently in Smash Brothers. But that would be a big one that would celebrate history of gaming that like no one is talking about, other than like Voyager in this case.
They're also owned by Square.
So, are they owned by Square now?
Yeah, I
I'm
think
pretty
so.
sure.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it would be like getting Joker from Atlas. It's like similar sort of like company within a company.
Yeah. I wonder how
So
discussions on that would. Yeah, I'm wondering how discussions like that would work. Because I have this feeling like because when talking about like Tomb Raider, for example, I feel like that's dealt with by, because that's also Square Enix. It's Eidos, but I think it's dealt with like Square Enix America as opposed to Square Enix Japan. Kind of like how I think Street Fighter is dealt by Capcom USA instead of Mega Man, which is Capcom Japan. Like I've always been wondering whether Atlas and the Atlas Sega thing is the same situation, and whether or not Taito Square would then also be the same situation, i.e. it wouldn't be as difficult to negotiate, and it also wouldn't count as, I guess, Square getting 2 characters. Although then again, if we're saying Banjo, then Master Chief even, then that would be Microsoft getting 2 characters in this pass.
I don't think, Nintendo's like gonna be like, oh yeah, there's 2 characters from this one company, but oh no, we can't do that because fan rules. Like they're not gonna do that. They're gonna just do whatever they want.
That's a big hardcore fan rule that like people are saying it. But, like at the end of the day, it holds no true water.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The interesting thing I've seen people discussing recently, though, is the tournaments. Because if you remember, they announced the Fire tournament long before Pyra and Mythra. But the tournament, or at least it was in the game's data. If we're looking at numbers, because each tournament has like a number associated with it.
Yeah.
The Fire one was there for a while, but it didn't actually get brought forward until Pyra and Mythra got released. So people are like, oh, so like I think the Wing tournament just happened, or is happening right now. And so everyone's like, okay, the next DLC character is not going to have wings.
Okay.
Obviously, that's speculative, but like it raises a fair point.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. That's true. I'm assuming we don't know the names of any tournaments that are upcoming. It's just that people are seeing gaps in the numbers, and that's how they're figuring out tournaments have been skipped.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that is a fair a fair guess. We've got no flying characters coming in next. I can see that.
I think there's a ban on those guys anyway.
So, all right. So those are the characters we sort of expected to see, and there's quite a few, common ones between us. What about the characters we want to see? Who would we really want for this to happen as the final character in this pass to really round off the whole game? And let's go in reverse order this time. So, Hero, why don't you go first?
See, I've joked about this several times. I think it would be hilarious if the presentation starts up, good old 9 o'clock on Tuesday, on the 5th, you hear some beach wave sound effects, and then Sakurai blasts Simple and Clean, so anyone reacting to the full presentation gets hit with DMCA.
Oh no.
Honestly, Square is just what got me into gaming at first, and honestly, if I just had Square Enix music or whatever, more Yoko Shimomura, that would be amazing. I don't know who else besides that, honestly.
Oh my god, if they do Kingdom Hearts, I've got to blast the safety dance MIDI over the entire stream.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Honestly, I had a list. Bomberman was the only other character I really wanted in Smash.
Yeah, and he's an assist trophy, so...
Yeah. Don't remind me. Because I think he is like one of the last few like big third-party mascots and has such a huge background with Nintendo. I was genuinely so surprised to not see him join early on.
Yeah, I guess they felt like Castlevania would be easier to implement maybe, or potentially just more requested, but they knew Bomberman was there, so assist trophy hours he gets, just like kind of like a Kira from Virtua Fighter.
all of the Belmont's moves have source material, so it's very easy to implement them in a side-scrolling brawler.
Yeah. With Bomb Man, you got to get super creative with how bombs are used. Because I feel like a Bomb Man character probably wouldn't pull from like Bomb Man 64 or anything. It'd probably
they have
stick
a
with classic.
Dreamworld TV
Yeah.
fighter.
DreamX TV.
Yeah.
True, but I don't. It's been a while since I played that game. Are the characters like movesets as detailed as they are in Smash in that game? I felt like that's mostly just punch and kicks and like one special.
But the Belmont Simon is in that game as well.
He is in that game, yeah. That's because there's like an entire Konami section. Snake's in that game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big Konami crossover. All right, Riley, which character do you want to see?
I feel like I want to see Master Chief, but I'd say Master Chief. I feel like my big three would be Master Chief, Sora, Crash Bandicoot. Like either of those, I think would make me happy. I'm not even a huge Kingdom Hearts guy, but I just know that the community has wanted that character since Brawl. So I think it would be really like a really nice payoff for people to get one of those three. So that's what I'd say anyway. Yeah, one of those three.
Yeah, Crash would be a fun character to have. I was kind of like sort of really big onto him, and now obviously with everything that's happened industry-wise, I'm like slightly less into him getting into the game now. But I think it'd be fun regardless if he got in. I mean, he certainly does fit that historical gaming like prevalence, celebration of gaming and all that. And it'd be nice.
Totally.
It'd be nice to get another Western character because this passes.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had one with Steve and Alex, but I feel like the last three characters have been very Japan heavy.
Yeah, and Activision Blizzard and Nintendo collaborate fairly often.
Yeah.
Like you have like Donkey Kong and Bowser showing up in Skylanders. You have, I'm pretty sure there's Ganondorf equipment in Diablo on Switch.
Yeah, there is.
So like they're pretty good. So I feel like it's totally possible. People downplay it, but I feel like Activision is definitely willing to play ball on that front. Do I think it'll happen now? Probably not. Because I think based on the selections, Nintendo's future-proofing a little bit by keeping like companies in-house and probably getting a bit of a discount for some of the like recurring like third parties. But no, I think it's totally possible. If it'll happen this game or the next, probably the next, I would say. But it'd be great to see Crash.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, now that you mention it, a lot of the characters from this Fighter Pass have been from games that most likely have a future and are still skidding around. Like Tekken's not disappearing anywhere, and Final Fantasy's not going anywhere. Like the only one you could potentially argue with is ARMS, but I feel like ARMS will be getting a sequel at some point.
Yeah, and I think that was an opportunity.
Yeah,
and I think that was also an opportunity for them to like get in some of the base characters they missed out on due to timing or whatever it was. So you see Xenoblade and ARMS and a new Fire Emblem rep, which was divisive to say the least. But
could you imagine if we ended on another Fire Emblem character?
That's it, right? Like in Smash, you're guaranteed one thing: a new Fire Emblem character and a new Pokemon. everything else up to interpretation. Yeah.
Just imagining now it ends on like a character from the mobile game, Fire Emblem Heroes. They're like, oh, we haven't got a mobile character yet.
You get the Gatekeeper.
That would be pretty sick. It's just when he's fighting, Alphonse takes the background cameo from him.
I mean, if you want me to make a light point, base game Ultimate had a new Fire Emblem character and a new Pokemon.
It did.
DLC has only had one new Fire Emblem. We haven't had our new Pokemon for DLC yet. It's gonna happen.
I really don't want Pokemon. Pokemon's like the one thing I don't want, unless it's like a really creative idea. Like if they have like the Legends trainer and they actually fight, kind of like they're actually running around the stage, then I'll be okay with it, I think.
Well, that's an interesting point because I remember talking to Push when they first announced this, and I think they said this is like a singular fighter in the language, right, Push?
So, they used I'm like 90% sure about this, but I tried looking back on the way that they announced the Pyra Mythra characters and Steve and Alex and stuff like that, and I believe the counter that they use is like literally like one body, and like when they have like multiple characters, it's like one like pack or like one force. So I think it will be like a singular character.
Okay. So,
But
Which would rule out Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah.
A Pokemon trainer.
Or like a character that has like like Pyra and Mithra that can transform.
Yeah, transforming character. Yeah.
Wait, an interesting question. How is Byleth advertised then? Because Steve and Alex, they're known as two separate entities.
Yeah.
But even when Byleth's advertising, they show male and female each and every time.
I think I'll have to double check, but I think they use that the latter one that I mentioned, the counter for that, because they're counted as two different characters in Japanese because they have two different names.
Yeah, they got different names.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why they also both got the introduction splash screen in their trailer, whereas like Hero, for example, didn't. Yeah, okay. So then for me, the character I've always wanted to get in is Arnaja from Puyo Puyo. I don't think it's likely though at this point. That's the character I've always wanted to see, but one I think is slightly more likely maybe is Phoenix Wright. I feel like Capcom doesn't have a character at all in this fighter pass, and like all of the potential candidates like Dante and a Resident Evil character, I feel like have had other things like a Mii costume and Spirit Event just come in and represent them instead. And Monster Hunter already had its boss fight and all stuff like that, and also had Mii costumes and a Spirit Event. So I feel like the next one down from all of these is Ace Attorney. And especially just after playing Great Ace Attorney recently and how amazing that game is. Like, I'm totally down for a character from either Great Ace Attorney or more likely the mainline series, Phoenix Wright, to get in.
We get Herlock Sholmes.
Yeah. See, look, that's the thing. If Sakurai's worried about, like, fans thinking that visual novel characters wouldn't fight and that would be weird to do them, you just pick someone who is a boxer who knows boxing, like Herlock Sholmes.
He has a gun too.
He does have a gun too. Or you pick like Kazuma because he has a sword, and then you just have a sword fighting character in.
Kazuma and Ryonosuke would get the game banned in South Korea.
It's fine, just don't release the final pass there. But Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, I think that's the character I'd like to see be added, personally. What about you, Matt?
Listen, the only W's I've gotten with Smash DLC are personal L's. One discussion, one Good Morning Source game, you're like, they're talking about Travis now. Suda's talking about Smash. I think he's got a real shot. No, he's a Mii costume. 1 week later, the day before the last presentation, we haven't gotten a character like on the chopping block, a big deconfirmation Mii costume. Me in the replies, yeah, I think it's Dante. 1 hour later.
Oof, so who you sending to the shopping block this time?
The W that's an L, there's going to be Ryu Hayabusa. He's going to be a Mii sword fighter. I take that L because he's Ryu Hayabusa, but I'm also weep silently because I would rather he be a brawler, so he has the Izuna drop, which is more important than the dragon sword. The character I want is Naobino from Shin Megami Tensei 5.
So that means he's going to be a Mii costume.
Yeah, I want the W. I just want a character I want for a change, please.
Well, fingers crossed then for you. I'm rooting for you. I think this has got at least the most likely chance of all the ones previously
I'll
thought.
I'll settle for Demi-Fiend.
What about Jack Frost? Just Jack Frost.
I will settle for Jack Frost. Anything SMT. Nothing from like child series. SMT. Anything. I'll take
Core
you
SMT.
Put Mothman in there. That's the best timeline, actually.
All right, and what about you, Push? What character do you want to see?
So I was gonna list Crash, Sora, Kingdom Hearts, and then Resident Evil was also gonna be a character that I really want to see them have a fighter in Smash, because I feel like they are the one of the last major Japanese IPs that are not in Smash right now. So I feel like having Resident Evil would kind of complete Smash even more, like if it could be. Like it's the only obvious admission that I see. If I don't know who to pick after that. Like it's just getting harder and harder to think of like what characters could you add that aren't already like Mii costumes or aren't already in the game in some other way.
I've had this.
It's like what Commander Shepard.
So like I've like looking at this poll that we conducting in our Discord just over the last few days, or we haven't, but a Discord user has, and the poll contains like a lot of the characters we've already discussed, like Master Chief, Crash, an Undertale character, Sora, Phoenix Wright, Pokemon, Cinderace specifically, and then it's got like on the characters that you want to see. I think a few votes went to Dr. Eggman, and I feel like that was a big talking point from half a year ago after Sephiroth got announced as a character, and I think that'd be a cool one. I don't know if they'd end on it, which is the only reason why I'm not thinking about it, but I think Dr. Eggman would be a cool addition.
Yeah, Jonesy is the only other one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd honestly be. I'm surprised Fortnite has gotten no content, admittedly. I'm okay with keeping it that way, but
I think Epic Games is very like I feel like Epic Games is very like it's a two-way street. Like if like we want like your content in our game. We'll put and I don't think Nintendo's willing to put like Samus in Fortnite.
Yeah, even though it seems like they wanted Fortnite, Epic Games wanted that at some point. It seems.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I mean those discussions will be ongoing, and I feel like they've probably had them. I don't like, but if they're having them, I feel like it's probably for another game. I don't think it'll be this one. But it would be a big deal. It would be. I would say that would be bigger than Steve and Alex.
Yeah, I do wonder if like the only reason that they haven't gone for Fortnite is because it's just a bit too new. I guess I know it's obviously a phenomenon, but like at the moment, so is like Among Us, and for a time period, Fall Guys was. And like,
I mean, so was Undertale.
Yeah, so that's true.
Sans is a costume now. Like I feel like that's like, it just like depends on when they started the negotiations. Like we know like with Steve they started like what 5 years ago.
Yeah. 6 years ago.
2014. Yeah, 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
And so it's like okay, Fortnite was still pretty big back then, I think. Right? I don't know.
Fortnite was a big deal even before Ultimate launched.
Yeah, but when did Fortnite come out?
I feel like it was like 2017. Fortnite release dates.
2017
July
was early
25th,
access,
2017. The Battle Royale component launched several months later, which made it big. So I mean, like, people will write Fortnite off as like a fad, but it's been around for a while now. And it doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
That's true. Yeah, it's been around for the last 4 years. But I do wonder, from Push's point, if they've been negotiating these DLC characters potentially as early as 2015. I wonder if Fortnite is just too new, especially like when it launched in 2017. People won't expect it to be as big as it has become. Like it might not have been until like 2018, 2019 when it really like. People were like, "Whoa, this is like a big deal." Especially because just looking at it, the battle royale element seems to have been around since 2017, but the actual like the game itself was in early access in 2017 and didn't actually launch till 2020.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Steve is probably an outlier. Like, I don't think that's the norm. I mean, conversely, we know that they talked, like Microsoft and Nintendo talked about adding Banjo during the Smash Ultimate reveal at E3. When was that? 2017?
2018. It was revealed and released in the same year.
Cool. Yeah. So Yeah, so that's that's when they talked to Phil Spencer and co about Banjo. So we know that based on Rare reporting it, like it's pretty solid. So I think that yeah, Steve took a while to negotiate, but I think that's probably the result of one, yes, them planning ahead. Two, Mojang got acquired by Microsoft in those years as well. So those discussions like changed dramatically in the midst of an acquisition.
That's true. That is very true.
I did want to backpedal a little bit and touch upon Push's little Resident Evil part, because that's another series I'm surprised about having no representation in Smash. Because Resident Evil,
They got spirits.
Spirit? I don't want to say
Yeah.
that, Riley.
It's true,
The thing
though.
is, Resident Evil is literally Capcom's best-selling franchise. Like, bar none. I think, if I remember, Monster Hunter's around like 75 million or 85 million, while Resident Evil's at like 111 million.
Yeah, Resident Evil's definitely their best-selling series. I almost wonder, though, if Resident Evil fits better in the same way that Monster Hunter does, where it's like a boss battle. Because I feel like
no.
having Nemesis, like a boss battle
No.
against Nemesis, would
No,
be...
no.
Why not?
Nemesis cannot be in the game.
Why not?
That
Age rating stuff.
yes.
Yeah. So I don't know what it would. I mean, I think the only thing that would hinder Resident Evil is like the gory nature of the characters.
I mean, the playable characters aren't that
No,
gory.
yeah, like, I don't think Leon Kennedy is so gross that they have to slap an M for mature label on him. But I feel like Nemesis and stuff is like.
I'm gonna check
pretty
the zero rating
gnarly.
for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite real quick.
Yeah, because he's in that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there are things they could do to get around that.
I think so too. If you stick to general zombies and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like in the background or in a move set, like I think you can navigate around it. I just think it's tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have some undead in like the Castlevania stage.
Yeah, but I guess
Yeah, they have like a giant Frankenstein in that, which is essentially Nemesis, but like Nemesis is a little more like.
Yeah, I guess he's a bit more gory.
Bits
Yeah,
of the innards.
yeah. I guess my argument though really is a bit more that Resident Evil's a lot more about the actual monsters themselves than the characters, just like how Monster Hunter's a lot more about the monsters themselves than the characters.
Yeah.
So I feel like something like that, a boss or a stage or whatever, might represent the series a bit better than having like Leon as a playable character. Although it's not as clear cut as
so that got a B rating by the Zero. So that's off the table.
I don't know what that'd be.
It's higher than Ultimate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say, people said the same thing about Minecraft. That like Minecraft would be just well represented with a character, with just a Mii fighter costume even.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that is true.
Yeah, I think the big problem with Resident Evil is that obviously the Spirit events were planned in tandem with DLC, and the 4 characters it could be all got taken out in one fell swoop.
Yeah, Jill, Leon, Chris, and Wesker. Yeah. Also, B rating means it's for 12 and above from Sero. I just looked this up. So I think that's fine, even if Ultimate is less than that.
You can't put in something that would change the age rating as DLC.
Yeah,
No, I mean, I'm not sorry. I don't think Nemesis is DLC. I feel like Nemesis is the sort of thing that would be in the base game of the next game instead of in the same way Rathalos was for this game. Sorry, this is my argument for why I don't think Resident Evil is being added this time around. For that reason. But yeah. Sorry, Push. What were you gonna say?
But yeah, I think the age rating thing is like the main thing that's like stopping Resident Evil get into Smash right now. Because like a ShadowLink mentioned, you can't increase the age rating with DLC, because then they would have to like re-rate the game. They would have to redo all the labels and stuff like that. It's different rules per country.
That's interesting. I wonder if that's the big reason why Doom Guy didn't really have a shot because obviously that's a series, a big one. They've been working closely with Bethesda, etc. But I'm assuming Doom has a higher age rating.
Just checked.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single Smash game has been rated higher than A.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I think like
in a weird place.
Yeah, it's like and I think that's like why in the U.S. Presentation, that's why they say like character names and not series names, because if they reference like a game name, then that increases the age rating or something like that.
Yeah, I think that is the case, which isn't. It's not the case in Europe because we use the actual game names in our reveals. But yeah, I think that's
was the case with
SRB.
That was the case with Melee. That's why like they didn't have Perfect Dark in the trophy description, was because of US age rating. It would automatically increase the age rating.
That's weird.
yeah. If you show a game like franchise title within a presentation, then it has to be labeled relevant to that.
The first DLC was Persona 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you see like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Cross like Altair instead of Assassin's Creed and stuff.
It had to have been a rule put in place after Joker.
It was. Yeah, I think it's something they realized after the fact, or something that ESRB clarified, because like that's when they started, changing it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. So those are the characters I guess we want to see through there, and I've already sort of brought up the poll and the stuff like that. So all the characters that were brought up there. I think the only one that I didn't mention, that we haven't mentioned collectively, I should say, who people wanted was Adol Kristen, who I believe is from Ys, but I have a feeling that's a very specific subset of our Discord group.
We were making that in a server that's becoming an East cult, so...
This is our heavy weapons guy.
Yes, absolutely. The thing we haven't discussed though is that there's a big doomer pick in that poll, which is Cinderace.
Yeah, I mean, Cinderace was like the character everyone seems to be expecting alongside Master Chief, and we touched upon a Pokemon character before. I was saying in Discord before that I feel like Cinderace gives me the same vibes that Decidueye gave me pre-Smash Ultimate, where it's this Pokemon character that everyone expects will be the character chosen for the game, and then we just get something completely different if we get a Pokemon. Like, this is the vibe I'm getting from Cinderace.
Yeah, I would really hope it's not Cinderace, because that is a Pokemon from a while back.
I'd be okay if it was Rillaboom. I'd be okay with Rillaboom. I just don't want another fire.
Yeah.
Final Evo starter. Because the main thing is, I see the point for a Sword and Shield character. It is literally the best-selling Pokemon game now.
Mm-hmm.
There would be a huge reason to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing that keeps me like thinking probably no Pokemon is the fact that they had that Pokemon Spirit event and added the Sword and Shield starters and stuff.
Yeah, and Zacian and the other one, the Shield one.
Yeah, but that's also just their base forms. That's not final Evos.
True.
Yeah, right. I think just adding that game in general is kind of a sign that it's not coming. Like any of the DLC characters that we've had, didn't have spirit events before. We've had characters with spirits in the base game.
Yeah, I agree with Riley on this one. It's why, Fire Emblem Three Houses didn't get a spirit event until obviously the characters got added in. And I feel like that's why, they were obviously holding it back. That was obviously why they did it. And Fire Emblem Three Houses has more characters. Like, they could have done a spirit event with the 3 house leaders and Rhea or something back when the game came out, and then done another one with more characters and Byleth and all that when Byleth dropped, but they didn't. They held everything off until then, and I feel like Pokemon would be the same way if it was going to do it.
I also thought about a similar perspective on World Ends With You, because I love World Ends With You. You see my avatar in Discord. I still have Rindo. I beat Neo, and I was like, ooh, I had fun, because it was a sequel to a game I've been waiting for years. And I'm honestly surprised Square has not done a spirit event for World Ends With You.
Yeah, I'm actually quite shocked at that, because they did one for Octopath, they did one for Trials of Mana, they did one for Bravely Default 2.
Yeah, I was more so surprised by the Trials one, because Trials is one that's cross-platform.
Yeah.
That's all throughout. So
Didn't
like
Nintendo help out with that game though, or something? Like they had like the source code or something, or was that a different game?
I have no clue.
They had the ROM that was used in the
Yeah.
Trials of Mana. The
Collection.
Trials of Mana ROM that was used in the collection.
The
That's
collection,
why it's Switch
yeah.
exclusive.
Yep.
Right. Okay. But they didn't. The Trials of Spirit Event is for the remake that came out, which came out around the same time as the Spirit Event did, but was cross-platform, like Hero said.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas the Bravely games and Project Octopath, obviously they were timed exclusives for the start, and then eventually came to other platforms. Or at least Octopath did. I think Bravely is, but I think only PC is confirmed at the moment. Point is, I feel like Square's been taking advantage of using Spirit Events to promote their games, and then for some reason they just didn't with The Wild Ends With You. And I don't know if that's also just a general Square Enix didn't advertise The Wild Ends With You.
I think it's weird that we never got a new Pokemon Snap Spirit event.
Yeah, we didn't get that either. That was an odd one. I find it always odd when we don't get Spirit Events for games as they come out. We didn't get... I mean, Skyward Sword I sort of get because it was a remake, obviously. But, like, we got a Spirit Event for, like, Ghosts and Goblins and Monster Hunter. And then we didn't get one for Great Ace Attorney.
I feel like
we got the Resident Evil Spirit Event.
Yeah.
Not just around Halloween, but when the triple pack released. So
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the Ghosts and Goblins one, that was probably just like a contract with Capcom and Nintendo being like, okay, you're gonna promote this game in exchange for, letting you use Dante for a Mii costume.
Oh, well, no, that was also a timed exclusive, so they probably had the promotion as part of that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was time exclusive, and it was also a Mii costume, Arthur. So I
feel like it was just like because of the timed exclusive, or because of contracts, that's why we got certain games and not others.